On and on and on and on. The world keeps turning. But why does it seem as if the world is speeding up and things are spinning further out of control? And will this frenetic pace bring about the very leveling of the hills and the mountains? What does the future of this fourth technological revolution hold with its promise of human cyborgs, virtual reality, smart bots, drone armies, and a wide array of artificial intelligence capabilities? And what does this all mean for a human society which still stands under the judgment of one God, revealed to all and known by many names? These are just a few of the critical questions we must wrestle with in this unfolding 21st century reality, which challenges us to redefine and reimagine the meaning and purpose of our total existence. As the world turns faster, there are some important actualities we ought to be concerned about as a people. If we choose to remain dead asleep during one of human history's most unprecedented transitions, we will only find ourselves being the victims of our own self-inflicted helplessness and hopelessness. We all know that we're living in a time of rapid change, but we are by and large unaware of what is driving all of this modification to our attitudes, our behavior, our lifestyle, and worldview. First, let's talk about our rapidly declining attention spans. Oh, I'm sure you've noticed that our collective ability to pay attention is rapidly shrinking. Distracted drivers, distracted riders, distracted workers, distracted parents, distracted students, distracted families, distracted humans. Everywhere you look, everyone is distracted, looking down at a screen rather than living right here in the moment, in the real world, in this exact place in time. We have an epidemic that is not being discussed and is being caused by specific things that are dysfunctional in our society. So what are these forces that are actually behind this epidemic? Johann Hari, in his book Stolen Focus, says we have developed an attentional pathogenic culture, meaning our environment has become extremely difficult for any kind of sustained or deep focus. As the world turns more and more out of control and more data, statistics, information, and ideas are coming at us, it becomes quite exhausting. And thus we experience greater attention fatigue or attention deficit. Think about all the text messages, notifications, phone calls, FaceTimes, emails, WhatsApp, TikToks and DMs and advertisements, rings, dings, and pings you get in the course of just one day. The more information you pump into a system, the less time people can focus on any individual piece of it. Believe it or not, this has been happening, not just since the availability of the World Wide Web in 1993, but our entire lives, our parents, and even our grandparents' lives. The internet has only accelerated this trend, but it's not the sole cause. Just 100 years ago, it took a lot of time for information or news to travel. Horseback, Pony Express, flight pigeons, telegrams, snail mail. Today, any news can travel instantly, anywhere and everywhere in real time. There's too much coming at us, and we are inundated with information, so consequently, we are losing our ability to concentrate and focus. A social science study revealed that in 2013, a topic would remain in Twitter's top 50 most discussed subjects for 17 and a half hours. But by 2016, it had dropped to only 11.9 hours. This increase in the volume of information is what creates this sensation of the world speeding up. Although we may feel connected to the whole world and be able to find out and learn about everything, the trade-off is that we end up sacrificing any depth of understanding, knowledge, or awareness. Everything becomes superficial, including our relationships. We might be able to appreciate what's happening if we compare our rising attention problems to our rising obesity rates. 50 years ago, there was very little obesity. But today, It is endemic across the Western world. Obesity is not a medical epidemic, it's a social epidemic. We eat bad food, and so people are getting fatter. The way we live is also drastically changing. Where we used to spend an ample amount of time outdoors in nature, we now spend 97% of our waking hours indoors, being much less active. We live in cities where cars are our primary mode of transportation, which limits our ability to walk, to run, to play, and to exercise. These changes in our environment lead to changes in our bodies and in our minds. We walk faster, we talk faster, we drive faster, we even eat faster. Some 40% of Americans are sleep deprived, meaning they don't get adequate rest each night, waking up the next day exhausted and over anxious. Sleep deprivation is the leading cause of learning deficiencies among children in school. Sleep deprivation directly impacts our attention and focus, and also leads to numerous other health challenges. So it's not just big tech that is impacting our ability to focus, but many forces are at work, all causing us to be unable to pay sustained attention and achieve the things we really want to accomplish. As a society, we find ourselves unable to respond adequately to major problems or strive to resolve them, because when attention breaks down, so does our problem-solving skills. Anybody remember the COVID-19 pandemic? We had a hard time trying to get a hold of that reality. As the world turns faster and becomes a planet full of attention-deprived humans, alternating between one app and another, how will we address the landslide of crises? And will we be able to get a handle on any of them? The fact is, the human brain is hardwired with limited cognitive capacity, meaning that we can only produce one or two thoughts in our conscious mind at once. Machines can multitask, but humans cannot. As we reimagine our sacred mission to become a self-sufficient and self-determined people, we must recognize the internal blocks and barriers which prevent us from achieving our collective goals and shared vision. How can we focus on the liberation struggle when we are distracted by the superficial environmental noise of the chaotic and overwhelming disinformation flow that is all around us, constantly competing for the little attention we have left? The most effective way to reclaim our diminished focus is to nourish and nurture the way our mind, body, and spirit were naturally created to function. As energy beings, we must realign our mental, physical, and spiritual essence through disciplines which can heal us, transform us, and empower us to become our best selves. We must take time away from the technosphere grid and seek the reintegration of our inner being. As the world turns faster and faster, we must intentionally take time out to regroup, recover, and reclaim our higher purpose. We must reimagine the utilization of the ancient science of healing and transformation we call KUA, becoming who we already are, which can provide us with all the tools we need to repair the fragmentation within and restore us to whole human beings. Through regular fasting, meditation, chanting, yoga, Tai Chi, movements, holistic eating, group ritual, and group experiences, we can radically alter the toxic effects of modernity and return to a place of wellness, peace, and harmony within. As the world turns faster, we must be enamored to rise above the chaos, confusion, and distractions, and to seek the inner guidance of divine intervention in our lives so that we can restore a world in bondage to consumption and self-destruction. As the world turns faster, we must hang on to our hopes, hang on to our faith, hang on to our beloved founder, the Honorable Reverend Albert B. Clegg Jr.'s vision of a Pan-African world community with power. Ashe and amen.